Oh, here we go.
Tits.
Oh my God. So have you seen that pathetic excuse for a penalty kick that Megan Rapinoe just made? Or should I say, didn't make at the FIFA Women's World Cup?
Rapinoe, right foots it over the bar.
Quality meme. But let's go back and take a look at that poor kick again. Oh, that's right, Megan. Take a big, deep breath.
Rapinoe, right foots
Oh, how embarrassing. Look how far it went over the woodwork. That was crap. And now she's walking away. Why are you laughing? Do you think that's funny? You've just disappointed so many people and you're laughing. Or maybe it's finally just clicked in your head and you realize why you weren't getting equal pay to men. Oh, that's it. Oh, now I understand. Good thing I'm retiring. Wow, that was bad. Perhaps she should have devoted more time to the very basic skill of kicking a ball into the net and less to feminist activism and bitching about equal pay for female soccer players. Refine the skill, do what you're paid for, and then we'll talk about a pay raise. What a way to end your career. Megan Rapinoe announced that she would retire from the game at the end of the season and the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Here's what she had to say post-match.
Is there a memory that stands out to you right now in this moment?
That's right, cry. Cry at your epic failure of a penalty kick.
Oh, I mean,
Wow, she's really pausing there. She's really taking her time to think about her best memories of the sport she was in for so long.
probably equal pay chance after the final.
What? Probably equal pay chance? God, you just love to bitch, bitch, bitch. She just asked you to look back over your whole career and point out something that really stood out to you. You know, something you enjoyed, something you loved about the game. And her first thoughts weren't about her love of the game, the passion, the feeling of being in a team, camaraderie, the thrill of getting a goal. Her first thought was to bitch about not getting paid enough. This is why no one likes you. You're so negative and so annoying.
And I think, you know, they were saying equal pay, but could have been saying a lot of things. I think this team has always fought for so much more and
More. And don't get me wrong, you want to make women's soccer more appealing to the general public. You want to get more bums on seats. You want to get more revenue. By all means, go on, climb that impossible mountain. But have a little bit of grace and dignity while you're doing it. Strapping on your hiking boots while you're trying to climb that mountain and shouting down the mountain, "Oh, it's men's fault that I can't make it up to the top. Men." That's not going to gain more sympathy for your plight. That male Sherpa's not going to move his ass to bring his donkey up the mountain to carry the soccer balls that you wish were in your pants and that rucksack full of male resentment. I mean, yeah, winning champions and all that, whatevs. Fuck the men. Fuck the men.
What do you have to say?
this.
What do you deserve?
I deserve this.
You deserve all of it. Everything. You deserve this. She belongs.
that's been the most rewarding part for me, of course, playing in World Cups and winning championships and doing all that. But, you know, to know that we've used our really special talent to do something, you know, that's really like changed the world forever. I think that means the most to me. And
what special talent? Were you invoking your special talent just before when you made that kick? Because if that was your special talent ain't worth shit.
you know, the players in this locker room here, they're just getting started, and you know, to all the players that I've played with, obviously, you know, who know what it's like to be in the grind. That's the best part.
That was the best part. The grind of playing in this game. Oh, it's so depressing. What was your favorite part of your career in this sport you love so much? Oh, you know, the grind. Retire. Oh my God. Just retire. You are cooked. You are done. You are over it. And that kick showed that 100%. I mean, were you even trying? God. I'm glad she's retiring. I say good riddance. She is such an annoying loudmouth cunt. And now maybe her career as a man-bodied Victoria's Secret model can really take off. I mean, seriously, what the hell were they thinking replacing the very curvaceous, beautiful models with that? It's like I'm looking at the body of some jacked up man-child boy. Gross. Ugh. No wonder Victoria's Secret is losing customers. Now, you know, a lot of people accuse me of having internalized misogyny. Well, if you want to call misogyny the basic skill to observe the very real difference in skill level between men's and women's sports, then I guess I concede. I'm a big sports fan, and I watch a wide array of different sports, both men's and women's, and have found that women's sports just don't keep my attention. It's slower, less powerful, less entertaining, and at times just outright boring. Men are naturally more competitive and physically stronger than women, and that's kind of what sport is all about. So of course men would be more entertaining to watch. Here's an example of my favourite sport, AFL, and I can already hear the rugby fans in Australia saying, AFL, that's a pussy sport, man. Try playing a real man's sport. Rhinos charging at each other. Hey, I like rugby too. I just grew up with AFL, so I watch that more. So anyway, with the men's, it's faster, more accurate, and more aggressive. Basically, more fun and engaging to watch. Check this out.
I want to jump over the pack, and here he comes! Ryan!
You read it well, BT.
What a mark!
Wow.
From
Viney, oh bang! Sydney Stack just sat him down.
Written all over it. That is just a fair hip and shoulder.
On it. Hibbert came up with it, gave it to McKenna. Waddles his way through the mid. He bounced to himself, and a kick to himself, and a bounce, and another one. Will he go for home here? He launches, goal square, Langford.
Having to deal with that, and it'll take 12 months or so.
How did he do that?
Now, here's the woman's version. Slower, less skillful, and in comparison, just boring. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good for what it is. But in comparison, it's boring. It's like clicking the 0.5 button on the viewing speed. Soon I'm yelling, oh my God, hurry the fuck up. Move the ball, bitches. These ladies just take forever to cover the massive ground, and their kicking is less precise, so it takes longer for the ball to make its way down the field. There's a lot of stop and start. The game is less fluid. And like I said, it's not that I don't give props to women's sport or think that they shouldn't even be allowed the chance to gain publicity. By all means, play your little veg hearts out and campaign your little veg hearts out all you want. But let's be real about the whole equal pay to men bullshit. Until you're pulling in the crowds to the games that men's sports do, then profit-wise, you won't be as desirable to sponsors or networks who showcase these games. Unless that game is ass-slapping, which I've recently discovered is a thing. I'm sorry, I can't show it. You're gonna have to look that one up. Or even some girly sports, which I prefer to men, like rhythmic gymnastics. I like the artistry. It's very feminine and it's enjoyable to watch. Synchronized swimming? I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I can appreciate the skill. Or even this strange sport where they compete to see who can chow down a BBC-sized cucumber the quickest. What the hell is that? So here's a little clip where they talk about how they plan to really boost women's soccer and make it more appealing and profitable. You go, gals. Keep trying.
Kara, you're a venture capitalist, and so you've spent years trying to make tech companies profitable. Like, what is the plan to turn Angel City into the next unicorn?
Yeah, well, I think we should get rid of that word unicorn at this point.
All right,
like,
it's
sustainable.
She referred to advancing women's soccer into a really profitable business model as a unicorn. A mythological fantasy beast. And then this CEO woman's like, no, don't call it a unicorn. It can be done. Believe. Clap your hands and believe, and it will come to life. Only if you believe.
It's sustainable business that can keep breaking through glass ceilings and all ceilings.
Oh, the fucking glass ceiling thing. Enough with the glass ceiling.
We talk about product market fit a lot in tech, which means you're actually trying to build to a new consumer and user behavior that may not exist.
Trying to build and cater to a new consumer and a new behavior. Like what Bud Light did, hiring Mulvaney. Because some bitch that they just hired said the brand wasn't inclusive enough. We want to stretch our reach to cover a wider umbrella of consumers. People who statistically don't even like drinking beer, they don't really buy it. Let's target our advertising towards them. And in the meantime, call our active consumer base a bunch of in the past misogynistic, bigoted assholes.
In sports, we're literally trying to put butts in seats. And so once you put the butts in the seats, every other revenue stream flows from that. There's incredibly valuable rights, media rights, merchandising rights, gaming rights, all of these different rights that flow from putting the butts in the seats.
They're trying to put the butts in the seats. That's what I said. This is the problem. This is the problem you're always going to face. Because you're looking at the groups of who like sports, right? The majority of people who watch and enjoy sports are men. And then you've got women. Most women don't enjoy watching sports. And the ones who do, like myself, can appreciate that the skill level in the men's is just far more superior. It's far more enjoyable to watch. So you've got two options in the same sport. Which one do you want to watch? And I'm not trying to be mean here or anything, but it's like normal Olympics, Special Olympics. I watch the normal Olympics to appreciate the skill level and the talent. And I do the same thing when I watch the Special Olympics, but at the same time, I also kind of say, oh, bless their hearts. Good on you for trying. Oh, shit. Sorry. That's kind of how I feel when comparing men's sports to women's sports. So if you want to get more bums on seats, a lot of this is going to be centered around sympathy. So hey, maybe this victim complex that you keep pushing out, complaining about equal pay and oh, the men get more than us. Maybe that is your best strategy for marketing.
I think we're constantly sort of trying to figure out how to do the core things, really bring in mission-aligned sponsors while building to new revenue streams.
Do what the NFL girls team did. Didn't they start putting them in lingerie or something? How did that work? I don't know. Someone please tell me in the comments.
While building to new revenue streams that may be even more innovative than the men's side.
Yeah.
More innovative than the men's side. Stop it, love. Stop. Come on. You're just making us laugh. Like I said, do your thing. That's fine. But stop dragging men into it. Stop playing the victim and calling men shit because you're not making equal to what they're making. There's a very valid, perfectly good reason for why men are making more than you in that sport. And it has nothing to do with the patriarchy or misogyny.
Well, that's the point, right? You've got this ownership group filled with all of these powerful collaborators, mostly women. What kind of energy do they bring to the table? Like different than a traditional male owner would?
It's incredibly different. It's a majority female ownership group.
God, the team's a majority female ownership groups. Like they share the team ownership amongst a group of women. Oh God, once again, it takes a large group of women to do what one or two men would do for a men's team.
And we all came together because we wanted to drive to equity. And for players, that's pay equity, but it's viewership equity, it's media attention, and I think it's really propelled us to where we are today.
Pay equity, viewership equity. I feel like they're just ignoring reality here. They just don't want to acknowledge that men's sport is more entertaining to watch than women's sport. So it's going to be very difficult when you're competing for the same audience and the same sponsors. They're going to go with the most profitable one. What you're really going to have to do is not run the women's version of the sport at the same time of the year that the men's version of the sport runs. So you might get some viewers who are just bored as fuck and be like, okay, all right, I'll give this a go. And then you might get some sponsors who don't have anything to sponsor at that time of year. So they're like, okay, what the fuck? Have some of our sponsorship money. But I'm sorry to say, no, it's not going to compare. It's never going to compare and it's never going to be equal. So yes, keep going, keep campaigning, make it the best it can be, but stop bitching that it's not equal to or on the same level as the men's, because it's never going to be. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Just a reminder to subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll always know when I release videos. Also, check me out on Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, and Twitter. Tits out, everyone. Tits.